Speaker Martins Amaewhule of the Rivers State House of Assembly has expressed his dissatisfaction over the conduct of the state governor, Siminialayi Fubara, accusing the governor of deliberately refusing to uphold the Constitution and the rule of law. Amaewhule's remarks followed the Federal High Court dismissal of a lawsuit filed by the All People's Party, which sought to remove him and 26 other lawmakers, labeling the case as an abuse of the court process. The speaker alleged that Fubara has a history of disregarding court rulings and orders in his bid to oust lawmakers, accusing the governor of orchestrating multiple frivolous lawsuits to proxies, including the APP, out of fear of the rule of law and the separation of powers. Amaewhule said, "We listened to the judge and he made references to previous judgments and court orders that the governor of Rivers State has failed to respect. I know he will also not respect this one. He has sworn not to respect the Constitution of Nigeria. Fubara has sworn not to respect the judgments of the court, even the Supreme Court, and he has decided to govern Rivers State outside every provision of the law. But we should be rest assured that all of us will continue to push for our democracy. We will remain undeterred." Amaewhule said the judgment had further emphasized his office as a speaker. Has further emphasized that his office as a speaker was not vacant and he has remained the leader of the authentic House of Assembly. He said the court had also dismissed the claim that they defected from the People's Democratic Party to their All Progressive Congress. He said, "We are commending the judiciary. The judge was very clear. All that we hear is pleasing to our ears. It is a further confirmation of previous judgments and injunctions of another court of competent jurisdiction. The most important thing is that our adversaries are hell-bent on taking us out of our seats. But what we have heard has clearly shown that the office of the Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly is not vacant. It is not in contention. The Rivers State House of Assembly, under my leadership, is the only house known to law." Let me start with you, Olonwe. What do you have to say to this story?
Well, there's nothing new because if you ask me what the Martins Amaewhule and his cohorts are up to, is just rigmaroling, just revolving around circles. The ruling of last week that is celebrated is nothing new, and it does not in any way annul or discredit previous ruling in favor of the Edison Eyi led House before he resigned to become Chief of Staff. You recall that another court, the State High Court, has also legalized and legitimized the speakership of Edison Eyi before he resigned, and he was given a handover to Victor Jumbo. So what Amaewhule is celebrating and also accusing the governor of is neither here nor there. Because if they know what to do, the right thing to do is to go to a higher court, the appellate court. Because all these other courts are courts of coordinate or equal jurisdiction. So there is nothing new. There's something new. And for him to even accuse the governor of being a violator of constitutional provisions, I think the person who is accusing the governor, they are actually those who are gross violators of the rule of law.
Okay.
They are penchants or known for shifting posts. Remember, shifting posts, shifting the goalposts.
Okay.
Okay. Let me take us back a bit. Remember that under former governor Jason Wike, there were plethoras of executive orders here and there, to the extent that there was a particular one that is 24 or so, that there is no way any opposition party will use public or government facility except a particular fee of 5 million, non-refundable, is being paid, and you have to seek for approval before you can utilize any government facility, which is even subject to approval. You cannot use it except it is being approved. But just last 2 weeks, I'm from Eleme local government, the Oto Eleme, our Eleme most famous civic center, our hall that the local government council built. Are you aware that these same people, the Yes Omige-led people and the Martins Amaewhule people, encroached the building and they were trying to force their way in to use it for their so-called Ogoni or Igbo people's assembly without recourse, without formally applying, without paying any fee to the government that owns the facility. So they formulate laws and try to execute it to their own benefit. But when it is against them, they want them to accuse others. So the issue of accusing the governor of being does not respecting the constitutional provisions or the law is in there. There are those who are known for violating constitutional provisions.
All right. With respect to the story of the story you just mentioned about what happened in Eleme, I would also want to have a conversation with you further after that and also verify the veracity of that story. And then, but I will quickly ask you before I move over to Ndanzi, has the governor so far committed any constitutional infraction so far?
Well, we are all in this state, so the governor's actions are in the open space. Yeah. They are all public knowledge. So if you ask me that question, it's like you're also asking yourself too.
No,
because you are in this state.
No,
there is none. There is none.
You have said that the people who are accusing the governor,
yes,
in this instance, Martins Amaewhule, they are the ones breaking the law. And you also said that the governor so far has not committed any constitutional infraction.
Yes.
And I'm asking you because I just want it to be a standalone question.
Okay.
If, in your opinion, once again, the governor has committed any constitutional infraction.
I do not see or none that I'm aware of where the governor has violated whatever constitutional provisions.
All right, fair enough. Ndamzi, what do you have to say to this story?
Yes, thank you very much, Laurentia, for having me this morning. I want to react by saying that in assessing or reviewing the judgment of the Federal High Court last week, you will understand that the court took a just position.
Why do you say so?
A just position in the sense that there have been previous orders emanating from the courts in Rivers State, the ones in Federal High Court, the one from Justice Omotosho, which was never either appealed or vacated by a higher court or same court of equal jurisdiction. So, in looking at all that transpired, beginning from the time of Edison Ehie, okay, you will understand that the Court of Appeal have reconciled this position and made a declaration. So at this point, APP running back to same Federal High Court, I mean, it's a judicial rascality and it is totally unacceptable in the judicial processes. The right position would have been to appeal or to vacate that order of Justice Omotosho, because the Court of Appeal have already resolved that position by saying that the Rivers State High Court does not have jurisdiction to try that matter. So like my colleague here rightly referred to issue of Edison Ehie and all of that. At this point, even up till now, Edison never existed as Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly. Victor Okojumbo is just parading himself as Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly. The Court of Appeal was very emphatic on that. Martin's position as Speaker was never vacant and is not vacant even till now. Martin is the rightful Speaker of Rivers State.
You made reference to Justice Omotosho's judgment. Now, Justice Peter Alifu, when he was giving his judgment, also made reference to that judgment. If I may ask, and you are saying that so far they've not made any move, nobody has made any move to vacate that judgment. That's or true. To even appeal it. Now, the question I want to ask is, the window for appealing that judgment, has it elapsed according to law?
Yes, it has elapsed according to law, because let me take your mind back to the time when the cause of action arose. Okay, this cause of action arose December 2023, when the purported defection happened. Okay, and if you look at the time current when APP went to court, it is out of time, because you need, according to the rules of court, you need 14 days after the cause of action arose to approach the court.
Right.
They never did, so they don't have that window again. Even as it is like this, it will be difficult for Edison Ehe and co. to appeal the judgment of Justice Omotosho.
Could that be the reason why nobody is appealing that judgment?
Yes, because
the window has elapsed. So what it means,
it is possible that is the reason nobody is appealing it, and believe me, that is the reason why the court, you can even see the court went ahead and stated that APP coming back to the Federal High Court again amounts to judicial rascality.
Right.
They know all this, and I agree with Martins by saying that the governor does not respect the constitution and the rule of law.
We'll get to that place, but before we get to that place, what the implication of what you have said with regards to the time frame for appealing that the judgment of Justice Omotosho has elapsed. The implication of the statement you have made, if I am getting you correctly, for the purpose of people watching us, is that judgment cannot be touched anymore. That judgment is there forever.
That judgment
can be removed. So, according to the judgment, the judgment of Justice Omotosho, Martins Amaewhule cannot be removed as Speaker of the House.
Martins Amaewhule cannot be removed as Speaker of the House
because it was not appealed and the time has elapsed.
The time frame has elapsed.
All right.
So, bringing in fresh suits from another corner of court.
The question would be, what was the prayer of the APP? Because Barrister Kine, when he was speaking, the lawyer representing APP, when he was speaking, said that the court did not address the prayers. The question would be, what was the prayer? The prayer, I'm sure part of the prayer was that they were asking the court probably to tell INEC to conduct elections to fill the vacant seats.
Now, you asked what were the prayers. And
I also mentioned...
You mentioned the particular prayer they asked the court to grant them. The court went ahead in that judgment to state that this matter have been decided by Omotosho.
So
yes, don't forget.
So there are no vacancies.
Yes, there are no vacancies. Don't forget, the matter before Justice Omotosho was Edison and co. asking INEC, asking the Federal High Court to first of all declare Martins and the 26 other seats vacant and ordering INEC to conduct fresh elections.
And barring the governor, from or any other person from interacting with them in the capacity of House of lawmakers.
So now you see, the court haven't said no, that there is no vacancy in Rivers State House of Assembly. Martins' speakership is not in contention. Okay, so the court went ahead and refused ordering INEC to conduct fresh election. So in this instant case now, APP have come to court again to ask for same thing. So the court went ahead and said no. Justice Omotosho's judgment was neither set aside or appealed. That judgment stands. His court is court of same jurisdiction. You don't expect it to give a judgment again on same matter. That will amount to judicial rascality.
Now, APP said they are going to appeal the judgment of Justice Peter.
Yes, fine. Considering this current judgment, APC has the time frame. APP is within the time, okay, to appeal this current judgment. But it will amount to nothing because the law is just very clear. Section 109, as so many of us have looked at it, is not self-executory. Okay, it's not a section that says if this thing happened, it must be so. No, there are procedures. And we know that in PDP as a party, there are procedural measures of defection. If you are to defect from PDP, okay, I'm a member of PDP. If you are to defect from PDP, you must write your ward chairman. That is the basis. Okay, so the action, you know, Edison and co. are saying are unknown to the law.
That
The
is
law,
not
the law,
process.
yeah, that is not the process. The law never said you will go and swear an affidavit. The law never said you will appear on a national television and wave party card. What the law says is very straight. Write your resignation letter to your ward chairman. Read out the resignation letter as you have sent to your ward chairman. Read it out on the floor of the house. That makes it legitimate
and the letter will also be ratified.
And that was never done. So the actions of the action as alleged are unknown to the law.
So what you're saying is that a lot of persons who are arguing on the defection of Martins Amaewhule by the reason of the televised announcement and the affidavit, that it is pure emotions.
It is pure emotions, and it is very, very unknown to our laws.
According to the spirit of the law,
yes,
it is not. They did not fulfill any constitutional obligation.
They did not fulfill the constitutional conditions of defection.
All right.
They did not fulfill the party, the PDP constitution. They did not follow the process. So what happened was never a defection.
All right.
It was never a defection. It was just an act of show.
Now,
because it is unknown to the law.
The argument of a lot of persons are that there was an affidavit sworn to that effect.
No.
Now, is that perjury?
No, see, it is the law.
Isn't that lying on that oath? No, see, it's quite different. It's quite different from defection.
The law, the law is right.
All right.
The court cannot give you what you did not ask for.
Okay.
Okay. In this regard, the question before the court is about defection.
Not perjury.
Not perjury. Because perjury comes about a criminal offense. The question before the court is whether or not the proprietary or otherwise of the defection of the 27 members.
All right.
So the court have looked at what defection is under the law and said no, there are no vacancies.
All right.
Because these people never fulfilled the conditions of defection according to the Nigerian laws.
All right.
And that act is completely unknown to the law. This is what people need to understand.
Okay.
If they had written their ward chairman as the law allows, then it would have been the law. But as it is, Martins Amaewhule remains the authentic Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly. They never defected.
Now, with respect to the accusation of the Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Martins Amaewhule, accusing the governor, His Excellency Governor Fubara, of defying constitution and court rulings. What do you have to say to that? I'll ask you the same question I asked Olorun Godwin. In your opinion, has the governor committed any constitutional infraction? If yes,
yes, in my opinion, the governor has committed constitutional infractions. First of all, when as a leader you do not respect rule of law.
What rules of law?
For example, there have been court orders ordering the state government. Like for example, let me just be particular about the Federal High Court judgment of Justice Omotosho, where the court said there are no vacancy in Rivers State House of Assembly under the Martins Amaewhule speakership is never in contention. And the court went ahead and ordered INEC never to conduct any election to fill vacancies because there are no vacancies. All this happened. A law-abiding leader or governor of a state should either respect the judgment of the court or, in the spirit of sportsmanship, appeal the judgment of Justice Omotosho. But all that never happened. Instead, they came back to the state high court and was running around the various high courts. I mean, this is just judicial rascality.
What you have said now, how does it amount to constitutional infraction on the part of the governor?
Yes, the reason is this. The Constitution is very clear as to separation of powers and rule of law. Okay? A court of competent jurisdiction have given a judgment bordering and affecting your state as the governor. As it is today, Governor Fubara is the #1 citizen of this state. We all know that. We respect that. It is not in contention. But when you are a leader who is not leading according to the law, who is not respecting court judgments, who is not, doing what the spirits and letters of the law say, then how do you think the people will rally around you, knowing that you don't respect our laws?
Now, to a large extent, you just repeated yourself in different ways. But I asked you a clear question. Can you mention the constitutional infractions?
Number one is refusal to present budget. That is a constitutional infraction. He has been running the state without the legal document. Even when the House of Assembly, wrote him on several occasions to come and present the budget. Because we are aware that after the Court of Appeal judgment, the House wrote him. Ordinarily, considering the channels of judicial proceedings and pronouncements so far, the Court of Appeal judgment is the highest in all. And the court was very clear. Then after that judgment, one would have expected that normalcy would have returned in the House of Assembly and also in the state. But the governor, the state, in quote, never obeyed that judgment. The assembly wrote him and said, come and represent the budget. You have been working without a budget, and it is unlawful, it is unconstitutional for a governor to operate without a budget. Right. It happened in Plateau State, and it led to impeachment and all that. All
right. Now, apart from representation of the budget, any other constitutional
Yes,
infraction?
Of course, the disobedience to court orders and all that. That's a constitutional infraction.
All right. Godwin, what do you have to say to that?
Well, it's quite amusing that my friend here has paraded himself on so much self-indicting responses.
Self-indicting?
Yes, because if he is saying that what the Martins Amaewhule and his group did, that was a national, on national television and everybody saw it, if he is saying that those things were illegal, if he is saying that they were mere emotional display of passion on a particular cause, and if he is saying that it's not lawful, then it means perhaps a whole of what has transpired, what they've been doing before that time, away from this foundation or this background, it means the whole lot that they've been doing so far should be seen in that light. So if they've made presented bills, if they've made on motions, it means it's been all acts of frivolities, which means they are trivializing the work or responsibility of the legislature. You see a 27 member in a house make such show, such display that we saw about defecting from their party to another party, up to the extent of signing and reading affidavits. And you're telling me that they are all mere shows, they are theatrics. You're telling me they are all, doesn't matter, it doesn't account for nothing.
No, if I'm
laying the premise.
All right, go on.
So, what he has said now completely discredits whatever they've done. If he is saying that their defection that was so much publicized, their defection that was so much celebrated, is not a defection, it's a mere show of emotion, then I don't think I should take them serious for any other thing.
Okay.
Because you have asked him about the issue of affidavits, right? To the effect of their defection. The affidavit to back up their defection. They read it out. Tony Okocha, the factional caretaker member of APC, received them, welcomed them in this party. And you call all those shows just mere theatrics or emotional display, then we shouldn't see them as being serious. Because in the first instance, Section 109 is very self-explanatory, it's explicit, that if you defect from your party, from that party, you lose your seat. It's automatic.
Is it automatic?
It's automatic.
If it's automatic, why are there provisos?
The proviso, that's what I'm saying. It is the proviso. I'm hinging my argument on the proviso, which is 109G, right?
Go on.
Yes. And to that effect, their seats remain vacant. That was why NDC AG emerged. I recall that another high court has actually legalized and actually legitimized State High Court.
State High
Yes,
Court.
legitimized.
Do you recall the judgment of the appeal court with regards to jurisdiction?
Well, did they actually go to the issues, the merits? So if he said,
the question I asked, I said, do you recall judgment with respect to jurisdiction
of the High Court?
Of the State High Court and the Federal High Court,
okay,
with regards to matters relating to the governor and the state houses of assembly.
So if the High Court,
do you recall? If
the appeal court said that the State High Court doesn't have jurisdiction, does it actually treat the issues or the merit of the case?
Are you also aware that what authenticated Edison Ehe at that time was not a judgment but a ruling that has a lifespan?
That has a lifespan. But at the time Edison emerged, before he resigned to become the chief of staff, was he a speaker or not? Did he declare the seat of Martins Amaewhule and Co. vacant or not?
Was there a judgment disannulling that?
What judgment? Was there any judgment?
He was talking about.
I'm not aware. There was no judgment. They were simple rulings and pronouncements to the effect that you talk about jurisdiction, right? That the High Court does not have a jurisdiction.
The State
High Court does not have jurisdiction.
Yes.
And who did that? Who said that? The appeal court. The appeal court said that. Now, if the appeal court said the High Court does not have jurisdiction to the ruling,
matters relating to the governor, federal institutions, and the state houses of assembly.
If the High Court says so,
appeal court.
If the appeal court says so, so at what point has the matter been taken up?
You remember I asked you the lifespan of the ruling that the order that authenticated a decision according to you.
Yes.
What was the lifespan?
The lifespan?
Yes. Are you aware of the lifespan? It wasn't a judgment.
It wasn't a judgment, yes. Right? Good. So invariably, what has happened?
And then after that,
there
was now a judgment by the Justice Omotosho Federal High Court in Abuja. Now, moving forward,
isn't that a court of coordinate jurisdiction?
Hold on, to give you a softer landing. You are a member of the APC, I'm aware of that.
Yes.
Correct. Now, and you are also an elected school of the Element Local Government.
Yes.
You're still
under Emeka
Beke, yes. So you're still occupying that position.
Yes.
So now, if you're under Emeka Beke, it means that you're privy to the APC register, correct?
Yes.
Are the 37 lawmakers in the APC register?
We have welcomed them.
Can you give?
We have welcomed them.
Are they in the party register?
The party right now, APC, is two fashions. Because you are aware that Tony Okocha has been parading himself.
He's not answering.
Even when the court, of competent jurisdiction has declared his emergence as illegal.
You're delving into another.
I'm coming because when they came, at the time they came to APC, the APC National already suspended the Emeka Beke fashion, my own APC, legitimate, the elected ESCO. The national APC for politics suspended to favor a particular person's interest and actually appointed to Okocha-led caretaker committee. I'm coming. So at that point, we were not in position to receive the 27 lawmakers. At that point, it was Tony Okocha-led ESCO that received them. So perhaps, at that reception, the 27 lawmakers might have fulfilled righteousness, all the procedures of being members of registering, of being in the register. So that question should be thrown to Tony Okocha because it was better received them.
No, it would not be.
Yes, because he received them. They were celebrated at the Polo Club. They were celebrated.
Hold on.
So the Martins Amaewhule and his friends are members of the APC as we speak at the moment.
Now, I asked you a question.
Are you agree with that? Martins Amaewhule and his friends are members of the APC. They no longer belong to the PDP, and their seats are vacant.
Are you done?
I'm done.
All right, very well. Now, I asked you, yes, before I come to you, I asked you a question.
Okay.
I asked you, are you a member of the APC?
I'm not APC.
You said yes.
Yes.
And I told you I am aware that you are an elected ESCO
of the AGM.
And you said, and I mentioned the Eleme local government. You said yes.
Yes.
You're still functioning in that capacity?
Of course.
I'm reminding you of the line of my question. And you said yes. And I asked you another question. You now said under Emeka Beke. I said, fine. Are you privy to the party register? You said yes. I asked you that question twice. So you're privy to APC register?
Under Emeka Beke.
Hold on. You said yes. Your answer was yes.
Yes.
And I asked you, are these lawmakers in APC party register? You now start giving me, and at the end of the day, you're now telling me, you're now taking a shift away from your earlier position, and you're now telling me now you're not privy to the party register.
We have a party register.
So there are two party registers?
Yes.
There are two party registers.
Of course, that is where we find ourselves now. That is where we find ourselves now.
Well,
because I'm saying because
there are two party registers, then probably I should also let you know that an APC chieftain has been on my show under the other faction, and he has also clearly said on my show that the lawmakers are not in APC party register. So now I'm surprised there are two party registers.
Yes.
All right.
So what do we have two party secretariats. One at Aba Road is stated, these are facts. They are established. One at GROA. Do we deny that fact?
All right.
So wouldn't there be two party register?
All right, very well. So now you're saying in your own party register,
Emeka Beke belongs to one fashion.
Hold on.
Tony Okocha belongs to the other fashion.
Hold on.
So the party is factionalized, and the one that receives
that is not under contention.
Beautiful.
What I am seeking clarity on is the party register situation.
Okay.
Now you say you're under Emeka Beke faction.
Yes.
And under Emeka Beke faction, you're saying that the 27 lawmakers are not in the party register because you
didn't receive them.
We are not the ones that received them. And then another APC chieftain, like I said, has been on my show previously and stated clearly that these people are not in Tony Okocha's faction's party register. So, which goes to show that this televised announcement, at the end of the day, had no foundation. But then, Ndamzi, you wanted to say something.
What about the affidavit?
Yes, I wanted to say something.
You can also react to the affidavit.
What about the affidavit?
Yes, I want to say something in reaction to what Olo said. And as a way of schooling us a little, maybe we have, literally forgotten the genesis of this problem.
And you also said, for clarity, you also said you're a party man.
Yes, of course.
You belong to the PDP.
Yes, of course.
All right, go on.
So I am privy to know everything that transpired from day one. Okay? So I want to put it to all of that. What has happened in Rivers State House of Assembly, beginning from the time Edison Ehie and the other 3 members were suspended, that suspension was never lifted by the House.
So the emergence of Edison is illegal?
The emergence of Edison is illegal, never happened in the eyes of the law because the Court of Appeal was very emphatic. The Court of Appeal dissected the issue of jurisdiction. The court was very straight that Rivers State.
At what point were they suspended?
Of course, before the purported defection. Maybe after the show, you need to go and do a digging.
Now,
you need to go and do a digging.
The suspension that you are now telling me now. The suspension. Who did the suspension? And on what basis? Was it legal? Was it legitimate?
Of course it was legal because then the House was together.
I have told you I have told you.
See, let me school you a lesson.
Hold on, Olawin. You have your say.
Yes, you have your say. You made mention of affidavit.
No, but before you continue, it's very important that he asked a question that is very, very important. He said, why were they suspended? So,
do you know why they were suspended for misconduct? Go and do your digging.
No, what misconduct?
The suspension was linked.
Go and do your digging.
I have told you that for what you have said, supporting Martins Amaewhule.
No. That position you are taking is very wrong. You are speaking from a sentimental point. You are speaking from a sentimental point because the law about defection never allows
on trivializing the sanctity of the legislature.
Olawin Godwin. It's not my show. We pride on ourselves on civilized conversation.
Okay.
So I will implore you. You had your say. He had a lot to say. He did not interrupt you. It's not nice that he has the floor and you keep interjecting and interrupting him. So while
I didn't allow him.
While the two, you're not allowing him. And I was also calling you to order. You refused to listen to me. That's not very civilized. So
it's okay.
When both of you are speaking at the same time, it's argument and it's noise because people are not hearing you. So,
okay, to set the record straight, let us lay proper foundation here. I said it earlier that before the crisis emanated in Rivers State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Edison Ehie, my friend, and 3 other members of House of Assembly, including the illegal speaker now, Victor Okojombo, was suspended. Okay, that suspension was never lifted before this purported defection. Then I want to react to what my brother and friend here said, that Martins and Co. can never be taken seriously because of what they did. What they did was never a defection. It was a solidarity visit. Even the visit they made to Tony Okocha at Polo Club was a solidarity visit. Tony Okocha was having a Thanksgiving in respect to his appointment with NDDC board. So, being a Rivers man and a brother, they visited him. So, if I am because I'm a PDP man, and tomorrow I invite my friend Olo to attend my occasion, he wouldn't attend because he's not in the same party with me. So, then now, in reconciling the issue of affidavit that he raised, I said something earlier before for record purposes. Let me reiterate again. The laws are straight as to how a person can lose his seat. The laws are straight. This is what I want us to understand. The laws are straight, beginning from your party constitution, even in APC. I was once in APC. I have been an APC assistant secretary in my ward. Okay? The party constitution is very trite. You want to defect, you will pen a letter to your ward chairman. The ward chairman receives it, acknowledges it. Then you, if it is House of Assembly, for example, in the case of Martins and Co., you read it out in the house, in the floor of the house. At that point, that letter will be transmitted to the national body of the party. Okay? But in this case, what transpired are completely unknown to the laws of the land. Let me drive us home. For example, if I come into this studio now, I throw maybe explosive on somebody, that is arsenic. You can tag terrorism and also murder because somebody have died and an arson have been committed. But in the event where, for example, the laws of the land doesn't have laws stating that that thing I did, it's unlawful, where do you think the court will generate its powers or will derive its powers to prosecute? At that point, the hands of the court will be tied. That was why the court was very emphatic and said that that procedure was unknown to the law.
All right.
So this is just, for record purposes, so that my friend Olo here will understand the basis of my argument.
All right.